If it is or if it ain't, it's gonna come out. Good morning, everybody. It's your girl Miracle Sims, and you are listening to God, Sex, and Love. Your daily dose of inspirational juice. It is August the 26th, 2023, and today the topic is I Surrender All. Happy Saturday, everyone. Happy Saturday. It is a day that I have been looking forward to because it's my birthday celebration day. So I'm excited, you guys. Those that are watching live, y'all see your girl got my new do. I told y'all I was going to show y'all. So here it is. Here it is. For those that don't see it or whatnot, y'all, I'm sure y'all will see it on social medias and everything like that. Just to recap of my day yesterday, I mean, everything pretty much went the way I had planned for it to go. For the most part. I got my hair done, as you guys can see. I ended up kind of, I went shoe looking because I didn't buy anything. I just went to go to one of these stores I go to or whatever and was looking around and found out there's some really cool businesses that are open up around in our area that I had no clue was there, like a cake and sip place. Like one of those places where you can go and decorate your own cakes. And I was like, ooh, what if I did that and then took that as my birthday cake? But obviously they don't do it that way. But I did stop in and the lady gave me a little cupcake as a birthday gift and everything like that. She was a joy to talk to. So you never know. I might go back there and, see what we can do about maybe having a party or whatever because it was a nice place. And then apparently there's like a little girl salon that reminded me of like Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique at Disney. Now I don't know if that's the vibe. It looked like it might be a real salon, so I didn't go in and check that out. But I was surprised to see those things over there. So obviously I need to get out a little bit more because there's things in my area that I don't know about. But yeah, that's something that happened yesterday. Came back home, ate. So I ate at home because that temptation to to eat outside or whatever. But the case was, I came back home and ate. I did buy some cupcakes, but these little mini cupcakes. Because I mean, she gave me one, so I figured patronize her business X, Y, and Z. They were good. They were good. A little bit different flavors than I was expecting, but still good. And yeah, so I came back home. I was trying to mentally prepare because I knew I needed to. I had signed up to be on the show, someone else's show yesterday, but login time came. I logged in, or I tried to log in, and it wasn't working. I tried to reach out to the person. They didn't get back to me, so I gave it like 30 minutes, and then I was like, all right, so let me get back on my other task for my pre-birthday, you know what I'm saying, situation. And so y'all may notice that your girl, I have updated my mani. I got me a multicolored manicure and pedicure with some stars, if you guys can see. You probably can't see or whatever. So yeah, I did that myself, y'all. UnwindSelfCare.com. I've been sitting on these colors for a while, or whatever the case was, because I'm like, yeah, I want to do that for my birthday. So here it is, my multi-mani. So yeah, that's what my day looked like. After I did that, I pretty much went to sleep. And so then I woke up this morning, y'all, around 1:38 is when I woke up. And I woke up from another dream. Not as super detailed as the one yesterday, but still interesting. I looked up a couple of the things that I could remember, and I didn't write this particular one down, but it still was interesting. So I don't know. I might need to see the Lord some more about like what all it meant and what He want me to do with it and whatnot. But yeah, that was interesting. One thing interesting that happened this morning. Then I listened to the prayer meditation. So when I listened to the prayer meditation today, it was talking all about being created for a purpose on purpose for a purpose. So that was good to be reminded of on this my birthday pre-weekend. To be reminded that I was created for a purpose, on purpose for a purpose. Because to be honest, I think I showed you or I told you guys in the past about this prophetess that kind of was speaking over my life around last year, and she was saying like, "Oh, you were supposed to be here," and I could understand where she's coming from in regards to with the situations that led for me to be here. Technically, right? If those situations didn't go the way that they went, I would not have been here. So in that regard, I do get it. But at the same time, I received that what the Lord was sharing with me today is that I'm created for a purpose, and everything like that, on purpose for a purpose and things like that as well. So, I'm not saying that she was prophet lying. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is that I can understand both ideas, right? And I think they can both be true. In regards to, because again, I do understand that technically, if people were, you know, we ain't got to get too deep in it. I mean, those of you all have heard my, the story of my conception and lineage and all that type of stuff. Then y'all heard it already. We ain't got to get into that because I don't think that has anything to do, unless Lord, you want me to go and tell it. See, I'm surrendering all, which is today's topic, y'all. I surrender all. So I guess basically what got me to this topic today is again reflecting on being created for a purpose, on purpose for a purpose. And then I went to go look at the verses that came up when I looked up 138, which is the time I woke up this morning. And this is the verse that stood out to me the most. It was Luke 1:38, and it says, "And Mary said, Behold, the handmaid of the Lord, it be it unto me according to thy word. And the angel departed from her." So as I was reading that verse this morning, all I could what was resonating with me the most as I read it is the word surrender. This idea of surrendering all, right? Surrendering my will, surrendering my ideas, surrendering my life, whatever the case may be, to God. And so I did look up the definition of surrender, and it says cease resistance to an enemy or opponent and submit to their authority. Now, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like I feel like all week there's been this like reiteration of I guess us being what God says we are, and just God's perspective of us and our life and individually and everything like that. And we have to surrender to that in order to truly see the blessings and whatever he has in store for us, right? We can't, it's like in order to get to, the expected end that he has for us, we have to surrender our own idea of everything, really. As Mary did, right? She submitted to the Lord and said, at the end of the day, yes, be it unto me what you have said. Basically, I surrender all, Lord. You say that this is what your will for me, and I surrender to receive your will. Now, again, like I said, I feel like this is being reiterated like throughout the whole week, or at least within the past couple of weeks. Like it felt like, not say deja vu, but it felt like very familiar to reflect on this idea of God's words, God's will, God's way, surrendering to those ideas and everything like that. I guess that's for the people that listen to me every day. Then maybe y'all are seeing the connection here as well. But if not, maybe this is just a fresh new thing for today. And so that's what I decided to go deeper about. And so here are the verses that stood out to me this morning. 2 Corinthians 5:17. It says, "Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. The old has passed away. Behold, the new has come." Y'all, I mean, yeah. I was reflecting on this today, man, because I was like, I can see in a lot of ways that I'm not who I used to be. Sure, I'm Miracle, right? And I've been Miracle my whole life. But I'm definitely, I would say, a little wiser, now, than former miracle or whatever the case may be. And I guess we don't necessarily think about us being completely different people or completely different creation, but this is what the Bible tells us that we are. And so, I can look back, for example, on things that I used to do or the way I used to act or whatever the case may be, and say that, yeah, I mean, I can see how this or that may not have been appealing, or I can see how this and that may be completely different from where I am in life now and what I would do now. But again, I don't know if we see that as a complete, like, you become someone else. But um, according to the Bible, this is what is happening, right? When you come to Christ and you surrender, then you become a new creation. So that means anything that the enemy tries to bring back up, or even if we try to bring back up our past and things like that, I know we see quotes all the time that say, I don't live there anymore, right? You don't have to believe the lie because you are a new creation. Like, and even if that's what you used to do or used to be, you're still a new creation in Christ. And so you can look back on those times and say, okay, that happened and that's what I used to do and that's how I used to talk and that's how I used to be, or whatever the thing may be. That probably was me, right, years ago. But that's not me today because of Christ. And so I don't know, I hope that frees somebody today, right? To understand that and to really, keep that on their hearts and minds that, they don't have to be just because you used to do something or you used to be something, whatever. Like, it's a brand new day, right? And you don't have to um subscribe to that idea anymore. Like, you have the right to grow and mature and to become new and do something new. Like, you don't have to, and I think that's a lot. That's one of the things that we do as humans, right? We'll look at somebody's past and say, well, you used to do this and you used to do that, right? So how can you be over here sharing the gospel, for example, when you used to do this or do that? And it's like, well, because of Christ, because of what he did. And I'm a new creation because of what he did. And, it's so much freedom in that, y'all, that we don't have to be, again, bogged down, or nobody has to throw you back in the mud because of your past. At the end of the day, let your past be a testimony. I think, actually, a friend of mine and I was talking about this earlier this week, and I was just sharing that at the end of the day, I think, again, that's the power of the testimony. Like, don't let your testimony be that thing that is holding you back and you're like, oh, I don't want to share because I'm embarrassed, or I don't want to share because that's where I used to be, X, Y, and Z. Like, at the end of the day, own it. You know what I mean? Like, it's more power in sharing your testimony and being open and honest and transparent about, this is where I was and this is where I am today. And that's a more powerful just move that can be create a greater impact than holding it in and feeling ashamed and feeling like, you know allowing that thing to silence you, or whatever the case may be. That's, I mean, I don't know who this is for, but I'm just like, I'm reiterating this, y'all. At the end of the day, take hold of your testimony, share it, don't be ashamed, because the Lord has done a mighty work with you, for you, and through you. And at the end of the day, there's much more that can be done with that than holding it and keeping it to yourself and allowing it to be that thing in the back of your mind and heart and whatnot, and holding you captive, right, to this idea of what I used to be and used to do. Like, I don't know why I feel like the Lord is really doubling down on that. Like, I could sit here and list like all kinds of things all day about what I used to do, and you know what I mean, or where I used to be, or how I used to think, or and all these different type of things. And I mean, obviously I've written about a lot of this in the cultivation period and whatnot. Maybe I should just share a testimony. I'll share a testimony. I think I wrote it in the book as well. But anyway, I'll share a testimony real quick. Something that try to come in my mind every now and then about my past is when I was in high school. And I won't get too deep in. I ain't gonna say no names, nothing like that. But I was in high school, and there was this time where I don't know how, I don't know what, but basically I ended up kissing this girl's boyfriend, or whatever the case is, and she ended up seeing us and stuff like that. and by the grace of God, you know what I'm saying? Like there was no fight or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I've ever really been outside of sibling spat or something like that. I don't think I've ever really been in a physical altercation in real life. I mean, outside of movies or something, theater, things like that. So now so kissing someone else's boyfriend, right? That was miracle years ago. You know what I mean? That was high school miracle, right? Would I go and kiss someone's husband, boyfriend today? No. You know what I mean? Like, and every now and then, I feel a little bit of tinge of regret, or a little bit of tinge of like, oh man, like why did I do that? Like that wasn't even a good look. Like the Lord kept me, because that could have totally went left. Like, because I've definitely seen situations where girls was fighting in high school, all kinds of stuff, and so the Lord kept and protected me. So it's God be the glory for that. But that's what I'm saying. Like things like that can be in your past, right? And it can be holding you back and holding you down. You can be like, oh, I feel so bad about what I used to do. But at the end of the day, again, new creation. So I hope that helps somebody. Just trying to be open and honest and transparent here on the GSL Talk Show. I'm not perfect. You know what I'm saying? And I was not perfect or nothing like that. But look where God has brought me from, y'all. And I believe that the only thing that got me here is surrendering, right? Surrendering to His will, His way, and what He wanted to do with me, for me, and through me. So hope you're encouraged and inspired. Let me keep going. Let me keep going, y'all. We got some more verses. So then we got Colossians 3:3. It says, "For you have died, and your life is hidden with Christ in God." That hit this morning when I was reading it and whatnot and writing it down. Like, again, I don't think we think of it that way, that becoming a completely new creation, right? New person. Like the old me has died, right? The high school miracle that kisses other girls' boyfriends is dead. You know what I mean? Like, what is that? I don't know. Is that freeing to know that, or is that a scary thought to think of dying, right? In that aspect and becoming new, being reborn, things of that nature. Like, I hope that you're encouraged and inspired by it. I hope it doesn't like make you afraid. But on the flip side, like here's the thing, I guess being on the other side, right? It may feel, you might feel away, right? And there might be a little bit of hurt or something there where you're like, man, I don't want to give up this piece of me, right? Because I feel like it's me, or I feel like it's um again, when you're talking about a piece of yourself, you're like, oh, it's it's me. I don't want that part of me to be gone or dead or whatever. But friend, I'm like I said, I'm on the other side now, right? To God be glory. That's what He said. He says I'm on the other side, right? So with being on the other side and looking back, with old miracle being gone and dead or whatever the case may be, again, I have so much more freedom now that I can sit here and share this testimony this morning, right? Like, I don't have to be ashamed of what old miracle did. At the end of the day, I hope that what old miracle did encourage you, inspire you to be better than old miracle and be better than current miracle. You know what I mean? Like, you know, and that's the thing. Like, I think maybe the enemy tries to keep us holding on to our old self, right? And to our old ways and our old thinking or whatever the case may be, and thinking that, well, see, because that's you, and it's going to be gone, and or whatever the case may be, and then you're not thinking about like where God is taking you and what He's created you to be, and the things that He can do again with you, through you, and for you as you surrender and give up that old way. um Y'all, I'm listening. I'm just sitting here and I just ask the Lord to talk through me. That's all I'll be asking the Lord to do every morning. And I mean, listen, I ain't know it was gonna be all this deep. I ain't know I was gonna be, look, could be confession time. But either way, like, I hope y'all are grabbing onto it, because at the end of the day, again, there's so much power and freedom in becoming new, right? And becoming who God created you to be, versus trying to hold on to who you used to be, and things like that. And I mean, like I said, I'm still miracle, right? I'm still who, my mother, gave birth to. It's just a new, on the inside, I guess I would say. maybe that'd be a good way to, it's just something new within me, right? That again establishes everything that I do and what y'all see on the outside. Um, Again, would kissing the other girl's boyfriend miracle be sitting here talking to y'all and reading Bible every day? I don't know. Probably not. You know what I mean? Maybe I'd be trying to kiss somebody else's boyfriend right now. I don't know. You know what I mean? So that's the thing. It's like there's certain aspects of yourself that probably will, yeah, have to die, right, in order for you to live, right, and become who God created you to be. All right. All right. I think I don't know. Let me keep going. James 4 and 7, it says, submit yourselves therefore to God. Resist the devil and he will flee from you. Okay. All right, so let me tell y'all about current miracle then, right? Because I think I've shared this numerous times, but I ain't ashamed to share it again, and I share what God is doing right now, right? So I want to say, was it last week? It was either last week or I think it was last week. I think I told y'all that my husband had a dream about that he was committing fornication and he couldn't stop, and he was like, I don't know why I had that dream because I would never da 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 da, And I was like, well, at first I'm just thinking about what he said, right? I'm thinking that he's talking about the dream that he had about him committing fornication, X, Y, and Z, or no, not fornication, adultery, because we married, committing adultery and things like that, right? But then the next morning, the Lord gave me some juice. And I felt like a revelation was that the fornication was yours truly, me. And the reason I say that is because I told y'all I've been going through this journey of when it comes to this whole masturbation thing. Like, again, I've been open and honest about there's a word that I'm not using in my vocabulary anymore, and things are different now. I believe like this year has gotten a lot better when it comes to the frequency between my husband and I. But at the same time, we still ain't every day. I'll put it like that. But not to say that we have to do it every day. But what I'm saying is that I'm curious to know about the everyday thing. But anyway, they ain't got nothing to do with this conversation. Basically, what I'm saying is that what I felt like I was receiving that next morning through the juice as well as through what God was revealing to me, right? Perhaps even about his dream, was that I'm spending so much time alone, right? That maybe we're not connecting because of that as well, right? And so I've been challenging myself to once again not go that route, right? To not masturbate, to not to have the moments with him and things like that. Yeah, we still kind of been talking because he doesn't mind it. I think he likes the idea of knowing that I masturbate or whatever. And like I said, it's been a few weeks now, so your girl ain't been masturbating. So look, do I need to do what is it? One of them not to make a joke. I'm sorry, Lord. Maybe it's not funny. That's probably why it went away. But you know how people keep up with like sobriety or whatever. Should I keep up with that, y'all? For y'all, like y'all can help me hold me accountable, But anyway, I know it's been a few weeks and stuff, and times when I've been tempted, right? Either I would text him, be like, "Ooh," or I've been just kind of resisting, right, and being like, "No, no, no," because even earlier, let me tell you about this morning. I'm trying to get the juice, right? I'm trying to write these verses down for y'all. And little feelings was trying to come. See, trying to distract me, right? And I'm like, no. Let me get these verses together. Let me go ahead and do the juice, X, Y, and Z. I'm not going to go. I'm not going to masturbate. I'm not going to do it. That's the thing, y'all. We got to like practice, right? Resisting. And I can sit here and tell y'all this today if I wasn't doing it. You know what I'm saying? So every now and then there might be things in our life like that, right? That we have to resist. And eventually, like what happened this morning and what has been happening with me is that, as I resist, the temptation goes and the devil flees. You know what I mean? And this is I'm a living testimony of this verse happening in my life, even this morning, right before I went live right now, And so, to God be the glory for being able to share testimonies and stuff. And how do I feel about, Because okay. Should I go this far, Lord? Okay, basically, what I was getting ready to tell y'all is I don't know if I'm still in the boat of feeling like masturbating is a sin, because I don't think it is per se, because it's not written that it is. But at the same time, but I can see, right, how it is causing a wedge right between my husband and I. You know what I mean? Like if I'm just gonna do what I do alone, then how can I feel a way if we're not connecting? You know what I'm saying? And I will say, since I've been on this break, or whatever the case may be, I feel like we've been connecting a little bit more. So I'm like, well, Lord, perhaps, not only is this happening for me to be able to share this testimony today, but perhaps this is, another thing that I need to surrender to you fully. And so I don't know, y'all, what is that for you? Right? What is your thing? Maybe it's not masturbation. Maybe it's something else. Whatever it may be, think about that and consider what that might be, because that might be the thing that is not just separating you from God, but separating you from, again, His will, His way, the things that He has for you. So we have to surrender all. And yeah, well, so with that being said, I went to gotquestions.org today, y'all, and I read a couple of the articles there, and I put them in the Go Deeper section for you guys to peruse and let marinate on your hearts, souls, and minds. One of them is called "What Does God Say About Me?" Again, I feel like this has been reiterated throughout the whole week, but if you don't know what God says about you, start there. And then hopefully it will encourage you and inspire you to get into the word and see what else He has to say about you. And then not only that, you guys, you can go deeper with this one that says, what does God want me to do? Because again, with this idea of being created on purpose, for a purpose, sometimes we just don't know what our purpose is, right? And even as I was reflecting on this morning, I know it was having me to ask God, like, what is my purpose, or what is it, X, Y, and Z. And honestly, like I said, I feel like this, everything that's happening with GSL is definitely part of my purpose. Speaking of that, man, I ended up watching last night's episode of the GSL talk show, and so many amazing people and guests, and I just know that there'd been no way I would have met these amazing people if I had not been obedient, right, to the things that God had been telling me to do, when it comes to everything that's happening now. And so, again, I hope that we all know our purpose, and or have an idea. But if we don't, then hopefully, again, these things will encourage you and inspire you by checking out those articles and getting into the Word of God about what He wants us to do. But speaking of what He wants us to do, y'all, let me give you guys the Bible verse of today. And I think this might have a little something to do with everybody and what He wants us to do. It's Psalm 105:1. It says, "Oh, give thanks unto the Lord, call upon His name, make known His deeds among the people." Friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. I pray you guys to go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all on Monday, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye.
All right now, God, Sex, and Love. Keep on spreading this morning inspiration. I love what you're doing. All right.